Welcome to this podcast for Brighton School of Business and Management students studying for the Btec Level 5 courses. For the whole of this assignment, you need to focus on the relationship between employees and the organisation. The assignment briefly touches on organisational culture, but mainly focuses on how conflicts are managed. In cases of conflict, the employees, including managers, are usually represented by internal representatives such as shop stewards, team leaders or line managers, or by external representatives such as trade union officials, and the organisation is represented in most cases by the senior management, but in some public sector organisations by government officials. Section 1. In the context of business organisations, you need to define and explain the meaning of unitarist and pluralist, and how this can affect relationships within the organisation. Here you need to focus mostly on changes in the last 2 decades, changes influenced, for example, by the political, technological, social, legal and economic changes in the business environment. For the third bullet point, you will need to explain the role of workers, managers, the organisation's specialists, trade unions, government agencies and others, depending on your business sector. Section 2. You will need to describe a range of different types of conflict, for example between a manager and an individual, or a planned strike in protest at a change in working hours, and explain what procedures should be in place and followed to manage these conflicts. Selecting one of the examples from the point above, describe the main features, causes, issues and reasons for conflict, and explain what could have been done to prevent the conflict. For bullet point 3, select and describe a particular conflict situation, one that has occurred in your own organisation or one that you can research, and evaluate how effectively that conflict was managed, focusing primarily on the organisation's procedures which were in place and were being followed. Section 3. Here you will need to explain the importance of the roles of employer representatives, the role of employee representatives, negotiation strategy, preparation for negotiation, conducting the case settlement, disclosure of information issues, against the background of a collective bargaining situation, which could be whole union membership bargaining, local workplace bargaining, or single table bargaining. For bullet point 2, select a particular conflict or bargaining situation, one that has taken place in your own organisation or one that you can research, and assess the impact and influence that the negotiation strategy had on the outcome. For example, one side might have taken a very hard-line approach, refusing to be flexible about certain issues. So was this effective or ineffective? Did it damage the negotiations, or did it cause lasting harm to the employee relations situation within that organisation? Section 4. You will need to look at the influence of organisations such as the European Works Councils, the EU initiatives and directives on social and workplace issues, and assess what changes these have brought about in making the workplace more democratic, encouraging more employee consultation and participation, for example through the introduction of supervisory boards. On bullet point 2, there are many different forms of employee consultation and participation which you can discuss here, such as joint consultation committees, two-way communication channels, sharing information, pre-decision consultation, financial participation, quality circles and supervisory boards. Finally, you need to summarise the impact of human resource management, which is generally accepted to be positive, mentioning some key points such as the devolvement of many HR activities to line management levels, and end by making a brief reference to unitarist and pluralist perspectives. For example, has an increase in the involvement of HR in strategic planning made organisations more unitarist or more pluralist? Here are some websites that you will find useful when preparing this assignment. And if you need any further help or guidance with this assignment, please contact your tutor.